Okay, we're going to pick up on page 5. We left off here yesterday, unless my plans changed. So on page 5, we have some multi-step inequalities. Now, I'm aware if you're still struggling with 1 and 2 step, multi-step is going to be difficult. But what I ask is that you pay attention to this video, you copy the notes along with me. If you don't understand, just put a little star beside something. In our Google Meet on Friday, I can go over that with you. Or your sub and Ms. Cohen Hardy's class can go over that with you on Friday during your Google Meet. So make sure to start anything you're still confused about when we finish. So on number 10, this is a multi-step inequality. Well, just like with multi-step equations, the first thing we want to do is simplify both sides. And remember, to be in simplest form, we can't have any parentheses. And so the way we get rid of parentheses is by distributing. So I'm going to distribute this too. So 2 times 4x is 8x, and 2 times 8 is 16. Now remember, the distributive property is when there's a number outside the parentheses that's being multiplied by what's in the parentheses. You have to multiply that number by every term inside of the parentheses. Now this looks just like the 2-step problems we did in number 9 or number 10, number 8 or number 9 earlier on this page. So I've got multiplication and I've got addition. If we're undoing the order of operations backwards, we have to get rid of addition first. So it adds 16, so the opposite of addition is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 16. So that leaves me with 8x here. 16 minus 16 is 0. I bring down the less than or equal to sign because I didn't multiply or divide by a negative. And 56 minus 16 is 40. Then we've got a 1-step inequality. It multiplies by 8, so I need to divide both sides by 8. Now I am dividing both sides, but I'm dividing by a positive, therefore it still leaves the sign how it is. We only flip that sign if we're dividing or multiplying by a negative. So on the left-hand side, I've got just x, and 40 divided by 8 is 5. So our answer is x is less than or equal to 5, meaning any number less than or equal to 5 will work. So when I go to graph this, I put 5, 4, and 6. It's a closed circle because there's a line under it, which means it can be equal to. And then I shade it's less than that, so I'm going to shade to the left. So all of these numbers over here. Pause if you need to keep copying. So now I'm going to look at number 11. Again, my first step on number 11 is I need to get rid of those parentheses. We can't start solving until we've got rid of them. Now there is a way I can get rid of that 2 without distributing, but that tends to be a little more confusing for students, so I'm not going to show you that method. If you're really understanding this and you want me to show you that method over to the side someday, I can. But we're going to multiply. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 with an x behind it. Bring down that minus sign, and 2 times 4 is 8. Copy everything else. Now it's a 2-step equation. I've got multiplication and I've got subtraction. So I've got to get rid of that subtraction first because we're undoing the order of operations backwards. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So on the left-hand side, I've got negative 4x. The 8 cancels, is greater than negative 20 plus 8 is negative 12. Now it multiplies by negative 4, so I need to do the opposite of that. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. But look, when I divide both sides by negative 4, I have to flip that inequality sign. It was greater than, I have to make it less than. I used to work with a teacher, and every time they multiplied or divided both sides by a negative, he had the students yell out, reverse, reverse. So they would have to reverse that sign or flip that sign. So on this left-hand side, I've got x. Negative 12 divided by negative 4 is positive 3. So our answer is x is less than or equal to 3. Now, if you don't flip the sign and you think that's not really a big deal, it actually is. Because when you don't flip the sign, that means you are picking every number in the entire world. That's the wrong answer. instead of all the ones that are right answer. So x is less than 3, that's an open circle because there's no inequality symbol, and I shade to the left, including the arrow. You are going to have some cons on two-step equations, so you need to practice those if you did not finish that yesterday in class. And I am going to stop this video, but I'm also going to start another video of some things we'll be practicing in face-to-face class today that you also need to practice at home.